Welcome back to Newsmakers. We're at a technical workshop organized by Sustainable Waterloo, which is a local organization that helps local businesses and other organizations help to reduce their carbon footprint. With me is Anthony Palesci, who's with Enermodal Engineering out of Kitchener, and your company is one that has signed on with Sustainable Waterloo. So tell me about your relationship with them at this point in time.
Well, we signed on as a pledging partner. We're one of the first three, and we have to reduce our emissions by 100% on an intensity basis. So that's divided by our employees in the next 10 years. That's our challenge. So it's a tough one, and we're looking forward to getting at the problem. But yeah, so we're really happy to be involved with Sustainable Waterloo. We think it's a great organization, and as a company, we care a lot about those impacts, about our carbon footprint. So we're glad that they started this initiative. They save a lot of time for us, for sure.
So what has the process been like? You first are tracking your carbon footprint to see what changes need to be made. So what has Enermodal done at this point in time so far?
We've done our first inventory for 2008. We're still actually refining it. There's a lot of detail that can go into the calculations. And we learned today, like, what we did actually was focus on the 80%, so the big things. And we've learned all of the major pieces of our initiative, of our carbon footprint now. And what we're going to do now is we have a few initiative ideas, and we've already started. We moved into a new building, which is very energy efficient, so that deals with a small piece of our footprint. But the big pieces are commuting of our employees and driving to work or driving to meetings. So business travel; those are the huge parts of our carbon footprint. So we're just going to explore options with our employees and try and get them to suggest a lot of ideas on how we can reduce those emissions. That's the stage that we're at now.
So tell us about the building that you've just moved into. It's just around the corner from your old office, but what changes were made with this new facility?
Oh, well, that's not a short answer. A lot of changes. So we're hoping it will be the most energy efficient office building in Canada. So its energy efficiency is quite good. We used a lot of focus on for our employees as well. So we have some garden plots that employees can use. We have access to the Grand River Trail. We have bike storage for people. There's preferred parking for carpooling. We have the space itself is really beautiful. There's a lot of access to natural light, a lot of great controls for lighting and ventilation and heating and cooling. We've got a stormwater cistern that collects rainwater and allows us to use that for flushing. There's a long list of really cool things that we put into it, and it's both as a demonstration for the work that we do, which is consulting for green buildings, but also because we wanted a good space for our employees, something that they could really care about, they would really enjoy. So.
And your organization is hoping that this building will get a platinum LEED, which is a certification saying how environmentally friendly it is. So when you're looking at other things besides your actual building that you're in, what are some of the challenges that you're facing in reaching your goals for reducing your carbon footprint as an organization? Yeah,
the building is not, like I said, not a really big piece. It's only maybe about 10% of our footprint. So the other 90% is mostly driving. So we have to figure out driving and flying. So the building is great, and it's our service, and it helps us to help other people make their buildings better. But we have to focus on, as a team, how can we reduce our travel to meetings and not affect our service, right? Because a lot of what we do is go to site and go to client meetings. So how can we balance those two things, providing a quality of service as well? And we're going to have to bring our clients into the decision-making process too. We'll have to give them options to have us reduce, maybe more telecommuting, more video conferencing. So we've also installed a video conferencing technology that we can take advantage of in our new building too. So that's our big challenge is working on, and then also employee commuting. How can we help our employees to reduce their driving to work on their own when we want them we don't want to inconvenience them. We want to make their life any more challenging, but we want them to be part of our challenge, which is to have this carbon impact reduction.
So how helpful is it to you to come to these workshops or networking sessions with other companies who are looking towards similar goals, and what ideas have you been able to take back with you to your organization?
Oh, it's really valuable. Just ideas that people suggest as we're chatting back and forth during the discussion periods that we have. I know that we need to look at we need to look at the employee commuting problem. So I learned a couple of good ideas from people who are just talking about their own perspective, like what would motivate them to reduce to drive once a week less, to work. And then the suggestion of paying for bicycles for employees. It's not a huge cost, and that may actually be less than the cost that we have to pay for offsets and things like that. So I think that just coming and talking and hearing other people. I'm also interested in the services that are offered by the people who spoke today. They may be valuable for us too. So.
So what would you recommend to someone who is maybe contemplating coming out to check out Sustainable Waterloo, whether or not they're not sure whether they want to use the money? Is the cost of going green worth it?
Well, I don't know. Yeah, of course it's worth it. I mean, it depends on... I think that every company, there are people who are motivated by the green movement and by the idea that climate change is a serious crisis and that we need to tackle it. I think that it's a benefit to an organization who wants to try and find those people who are keen, and it's going to be the problem of our times, at least in the next few decades. It's going to be something that's important, that matters. And so getting involved now and starting to learn about the options and getting involved on such a great community collective action is, I can't see, like if you wanted to start, if you do want to start learning about something, this is a great venue for it. I can't imagine a better one. So.
Okay, well, thank you so much. Now we're going to hear from people out in the community about how important it is to them to support businesses with green initiatives.
Yes, I would, because I think a business with a conscience is the kind of business that I would like to support.
Yes, I would, although I do believe some corporations wrap themselves in a green flag to some extent nowadays, so you have to be careful in that regard. But yeah, for sure, I'm going to support companies that try to do things environmentally and socially in a conscious and moral fashion, I suppose.
Yeah, I think in general you'd have to look positively at that, all things being equal between two different businesses. I would say, yeah, it would sure be a factor for me, yeah.
On balance, if I had two firms to pick from that were both providing the same quality of service or product, I would go with the one that is more environmentally friendly.
Why is that?
Well, I think that from a waste perspective, that is going to reduce emissions in the economy or in the air, and it will also be better for our economy because it's creating jobs.
If I had to choose between two products and I knew one was green, if the cost wasn't exorbitantly more, then yes, I would choose the green product.
I think it's a good idea. Green is the best way to go.
I think it's everybody's responsibility to chip in and just do their part and keep everything clean and tidy and make it a better place for other generations.
Now it's time to have your say in today's web poll question. We're asking, do you take the environment into consideration when dealing with businesses? Visit RogersTV.com to place your vote.